Peace, peace. Shout out to everybody out there in the Conscious Community. It's your boy Pro Black Politics, man. Welcome to the Conscious Community Network. One of the main things we do over here is focus on promoting black media. Uh, and the second thing that I want to focus on over here is organizing black media. And I've been saying this for a long time. I'm gonna continue to say it. The best way for us to do that today, right now, in the conscious community, is by utilizing DAO. And this is where I reintroduce my plan for the Conscious Community DAO. If you don't know, a DAO is a decentralized automated organization. I'm going to go into what that is a little bit more in detail. A DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization that exists as a set of contracts that reside on the blockchain. This means that they are not controlled by a single institution like a government or central bank, but instead are divided among a variety of computers, networks, and nodes, all based on open source code and without a typical management structure or board of directors. Now, I know a lot of that sounds complicated, but it's really not. Trust me. Stick with me. We gonna get to it. Okay, now, why do I believe that this is a solution? Why use a DAO? Well, let's see. This is a list of things that I have put basically when I listen to all of the different platforms in the Conscious Community Network, the centralized themes are what this list represent. Um, One, there is a Pan African media agenda. It's just it's not an organized one, right? We have created shared interests in the form of just content creation or just the way that we interact with each other on panels. Um, we've created a shared interest with subject matter. The promotion of black media networking, and that's another thing that goes into how people with platforms promote other platforms. You see a lot of people who have larger platforms, they visit other people platforms, right? So there is a central thing, like we do these things already, it's just not organized, right? uh and there is a theme of this, the Conscious Community Network, whether you consider yourself that or not, of becoming a global presence. Like, we want to be heard. That's the reason why we have so many black content creators. That's the reason why we have so many conversations, right? It's because we want to have a voice. We want to be heard, and we don't necessarily want a lot of the black people that's speaking for us to be speaking for us. We want our own voice. Um, in the long term, this is something that I put on the bottom, uh, because it's just a goal. We need a bank. You know what I mean? And that's a little bit further down the line, but it's definitely something that's been the focus of a lot of conversations, right? And just to go into a little bit more in the detail, what I personally think these things should look like. Would one would be the Pan African media agenda. Um, One thing that I think the a focus should be on is to promote and invest in relationships here, primarily among African Americans and the Black diaspora. Now, I will say, the Conscious Community DAO primary focus will be African Americans here in America, just because I think this is where the majority of the conscious community is, more or less. And it just makes more sense to prioritize what's going on here, right? Get our organization together, and then we can focus on building out to do more networking with our brothers and sisters in the diaspora. Okay. Now, major thing, right? Why use a DAO? And these are just some examples of what created shared interests look like, okay? And that's really what a DAO does. Members of the DAO, and again, to become the member, you would have we would discuss how that would take shape. I'm guessing a membership in the form of an NFT would be the best way to go, because there's a lot of security that comes with that. We can go more into detail that later, but what that does is when everybody has a vote and everybody pays that, that membership fee, then everybody understands that they have a say in whatever proposals get put forth. Okay, so if we go, $5, $10, $20 for a membership, once you get that we can get, whatever, 10, 20,000 people do it, we're sitting on a nice bit of money, right? If you know that your voice matters and what happens with that money, you're probably going to say something. Okay, that's the type of shared interest that we want to create, right? Another example you see I got up there is the stock market. I think that which goes right into brand loyalty. It's a way to create shared interest, and that's been going on for a really long time, and I think successful. People tend to support businesses if they own stock in that business, right? And it's a great way to create brand loyalty. I think one of the things that we lack in the conscious community is that we don't have that financial tie to each other. Everybody's pretty much out for self. What a DAO would do is create a financial shared interest. People tend to care more about the things that they put money into, right? Which they kind of, it just adds up to that black DAO, right? So we got the stock market as example of how another group used stocks to create shared interest, right? Which goes into brand loyalty, black DAO, group economics, okay? And at the bottom, well, that's a little further down the road, but in essence, the major point of pushing for a DAO would be to pool resources and create a shared interest, right? I just think it's like nobody's going to fund the type of media that we want to push but us. So we gotta be able to come together and do that, and using a DAO is an excellent way to do that. Some examples of what we could do with some of the funds or some of the proposals that we will put up would be certain content, right? Let's say for instance we want to have a I don't know, we want to do a Mother's Day or a Father's Day campaign, something like that, right? Just for example, we could have a competition and say, hey, focus on members, right? Say primarily we just doing members. If you're a member, you want to put a short skit together or produce some type of content or do a poem or anything, right? Something that we could use to promote on social media just to push a positive message, right? We would say, okay, first place, get $500. Second place, get $250, whatever, the breakdown would be. That's a way we could support and push positive content, right? And we could use that with the funds that we put together in the Black DAO, right? Again, we could fund creators, and that is a great way to do it by having these competitions. We could also use it to push a political agenda, which is kind of all over the place. But even having those funds available to push a political agenda would make us talk more about a political agenda, right? If we got $50,000 to spend with somebody, we probably more prone to have those conversations, right? And long term, I like to focus on the long term. We could invest in something like our own streaming platform. I mean, to be doing it, why we couldn't do it. Okay, and just to sum up why we should be using a DAO to help uh organize and fundraise and push just a positive agenda, man, to just to move the conscious community forward, right? This is an excellent example of why, right? It depends on what you think is credible or not, but this website is called Tally. Okay, so I'm just walk through Tally a little bit, and you can just go to it. You can see the link up top. Tallyegg.xyz, the URL. Okay, I'm just gonna read a little bit. Okay, run DAOs on chain. Tally powers L2s, protocols, treasuries, and public goods. Okay, and this is just their stats. This is what's going on. 20 billion plus DAO assets, 400 million plus transfers, 7K plus proposals, 200K plus delegations. Okay, and this is one of the reasons I think this is perfect for us. One, we don't all need to be in the same room, and it's pretty much structured in a way that all we have to do is come together and carry this out. And it starts with it's a 1, 2, 3, man. You launch a DAO, turnkey solution to launch a DAO, build your community, get delegates, and distribute governance token to the voters who will run the protocol. You elect the council, which is really important, but I think even that's something that we could use in the conscious community. It's just it's more content. It's fresh, it's new, and it just pushes for a more democratic kind of atmosphere in the conscious community, right? We need to be making decisions on something. You know what I mean? So we would elect the council. I have I'm gonna do a separate video of the. I think you have 8 to 10 people, whatever the max is. That's what I want to do because the more people who hold keys, the more decentralized it is. So you would elect the council, who's on the multi-sig. With the council elections, DAOs can elect and manage the signers on security councils, grant programs, and more. I might go into that a little bit more on another video. I'm probably just go through each one on another video. But create proposals, which would do, which is kind of self-explanatory, and manage a treasury. With Tally Swaps, your DAO can now swap assets directly from Treasury with MEV protected, trustless on-chain swaps. Designed for operators, voters, and delegates. Okay, so trusted by 500 plus DAOs, and if you can, here we'll go through and just look at some of these numbers really fast. Okay, you can just Google some of these protocols, right? Okay, so Arbitrum, that's a layer 2 blockchain on Ethereum. I'm pretty sure. 40 proposals up, 1.22 million holders, 432. You can go into like each one because it's all out in the open. It's nothing illegal. I think, and again, even that makes it more attractive because you can't hide anything, right? Any proposals that get puts up, anybody can access. You just have to come here. You be able to vote if you have the right credentials. Um, let's see what's going on here. Arbitrum DAO contribution safeguarding software developer rights. Okay. 84% were for, what is it? I want to see. abstract, and rationale. This proposal in emphasizes, sorry about that, a monetary contribution to DEF and Coin Center from Arbitrum DAO to continue their policy, litigation, and advocacy efforts in relation to open source software and software developer rights. Does it say how much? Really, I want to see. You put this forth. It gets voted on, and then the DeFi Education Fund. DeFi Education Fund. Some of the DeFi Education Fund's most notable contributions with an industry-wide impact will be noted here under. The DeFi Education Fund initiated a legal challenge against a patent held by True Return Systems, LLC, regarding blockchain technology, challenging the novelty and validity of its claims. Okay, is this okay, so they talking about stuff that I don't need to know. Okay, payment terms. Funding. As per the temperature check passed by the Arbitrum DAO on 24th of April 2024, Coin Center and DeFi Education Fund will receive 500,000 ARB each. Right? So they passed this. So I wonder how much that's worth. I didn't mean it. I didn't know I was gonna do all that. Well, that's a lot of money. So it's basically a dollar. It's basically a dollar. Okay, so $500,000 each. So this is just an example of blockchain, and if you could go back to that, you can see what is the market cap of Arbitrum right now. Well, that's the high. Right now it's just under 3.2 billion. This is a rather large project, and they use Tally. Okay, that was my whole point of walking through that. Arbitrum uses Tally. Okay, we could use Tally. Compounds, another large blockchain protocol that uses Tally. This is a entire list of all of the different. And Optimism. I have a Uniswap. Uniswap is the largest decentralized exchange. They all use it. They all use it, and I think it's a lot more. It's a lot more. Yeah, this is just an example of a DAO. And that's what we pushing over here, man. The Conscious Community Network. So if you're interested in that at all, subscribe to the channel, man. The thumbs up button. Support the Black DAO. I think I'm gonna start a hashtag. I don't know what it's gonna be yet, but yeah, man. Drop a comment if you're interested in it. This is another one that I gotta push around and more. I'm gonna try to do the nomination video fast, but smash that button, subscribe to the channel. Your boy Pro Black Politics, man. It's Conscious Community Network. Y'all take it easy.